At almost every seminar I give, I'm asked a question. If you were starting from scratch today, what would you do differently? And my answer is almost everything. Like most gym owners, I started with lots of enthusiasm, but I also started with no idea how to run a business, set my rates, hire and pay staff, or get new clients. So like most gym owners, I worked 14 hours every day for 10 years before I realized that working harder isn't the answer. There's no excuse for that behavior anymore. Many gyms in Two Brain achieve financial success in 3 years, where it took me 10. Some owners achieve financial independence in less than 4 years. That's like retirement. That took me 14 years. You can listen to Cleta Connell's story in the link below this video. And if you want to download our step-by-step guide to opening a gym, you can download it from the other link below this video for free. If I could go back to 2005 and start over though, here's what I would do. Number 1, I would start with the minimum viable space and equipment. I spent $16,000 on equipment in 2005 and only really used a barbell, plates, and pull-up bars. You can buy that stuff for under $1,000. And I'd look for a small space that was easy for my clients to reach. I'd sign the shortest lease I could, month to month if possible, because I'd planned to grow in the next year, but not yet. Number 2, I'd start by doing personal training and nutrition coaching. In the founder phase, my job is to deliver and refine my service, but it's also to raise the capital to take the next step. So I'd want to focus on high value use of my time instead of running classes with 2 people in them for 20 bucks an hour. Number 3, I'd build my training schedule around my client schedules, probably 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. But I'd plan to remove myself from those hours within the first year by training other coaches. Number 4, I'd keep the no sweat intro, automatic billing, and prescriptive model that we teach in the incubator, the stuff that I didn't have in 2005. Number 5, I'd pay myself every week. Luckily, I got this right. I didn't have a choice, and that was an advantage. But number 6, I'd pay for mentorship instead of equipment. As a good coach, I can get people results without assault bikes and GHDs, but as a business owner and dad, I couldn't afford a decade of poverty and trial and error. After the first 9 to 12 months, I'd start training a second coach and rotating him or her in with my one-on-one clients. Alternately, I could train someone to handle the exercise or nutrition part of my program. I'd also replace myself in the lowest value roles like cleaner and reinvest that time into marketing. Number 2, I would start my affinity marketing plan, which we teach in the incubator. Working from my best clients outward into the community, I'd start with referrals. Then I'd ramp up my email list, and then I'd move to Facebook ads. The process would take around a year because I'd want to do a thorough job with each opportunity in front of me. Number 3, I'd start scaling my client hours by pairing people with similar goals and levels of progress. This was Greg Glassman's first step, and it was the one that I skipped. When I found CrossFit, I thought, I'll just sell group classes now. And it was fun, and it almost bankrupted me. Luckily, enough of my one-on-one clients said no thanks to group training, and they really supported the gym for 3 years. But gyms who do well at this step sometimes just stay there, keeping classes to 6 people or less and charging for small group coaching. There's an example below. After pairing my clients, I'd add third people to the groups, but only rarely, and I'd usually do so only with referrals. Fourth, I'd create opportunities for my staff. I'd employ the 4 nights model, which I learned in 2001 and used successfully starting in 2005. The first trainer I hired on the 4 nights platform is still with me at Catalyst, by the way. But I do the career roadmap meetings right from the start to make sure my staff know how to reach their goals with my support. Number 5, I'd expand only when clients complained. I remember a night when we had 5 trainers working in 3 small training rooms. Tim, who is a DPT, actually did his sessions in a stairwell, and his clients loved it. He learned how to sell them by teaching them the precise purpose of everything that they were doing. Working with limited space and equipment actually made us better at selling our clients on our service because we didn't have a choice. But meanwhile, across town, you could hear the wind whistle through my empty CrossFit gym. Around the 2-year mark, I'd work myself out of direct coaching and focus on sales and marketing. I was really bad at both sales and marketing, but didn't take the time to get better. Instead, I filled my days with coaching hours in my head with stupid slogans about working harder than anyone else. To improve, I'd follow the value ladder plan that we now teach in the incubator. I'd start looking to expand, maybe even buy my own building. Second, I'd focus heavily on retention ahead of everything else. Third, I'd start taking days off, because that's a habit too. If you wait too long to take breaks, you'll really struggle to do so when it becomes possible, and it's the same as paying yourself. At the 3-year mark, I'd measure my opportunities. Open a second location, expand, open a different business. Now, here's the thing. If you had asked me on October 24th, 2005 to map out my next 3 years, I would have predicted the same result as I did above. But I wouldn't have been able to describe the path to get there. And that meant it actually took me a full decade, cost me hundreds of thousands of wasted dollars, and impaired my health and my relationships. It didn't have to. We've mapped this path now. We know it works. There's no excuse to throw away 7 years or more making the same mistakes that others have already made for you. That's the biggest thing I'd change. I'd get rid of the stupid ego that kept telling me, you're smart, you're just going to figure this out on your own. Put your head down and grind until the money appears. Your family will respect you for it. I'd skip that whole martyrdom part. You can talk with a certified 2Brain mentor for free now. Just click on the link below and book a free call.